Welcome back to Golden Black Live. Stacy down at the end, Ricardo Allen, the Atlanta Falcons, former Boilermaker. I'm Kyle, filling in for Allen, who I think made it through the first segment without passing out. He's not feeling very well.
I stayed way over
Yeah,
in the corner.
there you go. What do you remember about your senior day as Purdue seniors will play their last game tomorrow in Ross-Ade?
Oh man, I remember, walking out on that stadium and like, man, this is my last time, ever getting to do this. Then, that kind of comes to a scary moment because you always say, you hope to be drafted and you hope to make it to the NFL, but it's plenty of people who hope for that to happen also. And you just like, is this really going to happen for me? Like, did I really leave my all on this field? Did I really do my best for my team and for myself to give myself a chance to get to this next level? So at that time, you want to play your last game as hard as possible, but it also, you start to get some jitters and you start to get a little scared because the real world is coming.
You always struck me a little bit as a realist, a guy who had dreams, but a realist too. So even at that point, you didn't know for sure whether the NFL was going to call your name or whether you were going to make it, right?
Not at all, because I'm a researcher. I say, I'm a realist too, and I've seen people who had, the numbers that I've had and who played at good colleges like I did and stuff like that, and they didn't get that number called. Everybody always hoped for it, and that's what we dream for, is, even as little kids, but you never know until your name is called, until you get the opportunity to go.
Right.
How do you need to fuel yourself, for lack of a better term, when you get drafted, but then practice squad, and then you never know what's going to happen from the practice squad, and then you started the last 2 years. What was that kind of journey like mentally for you?
Oh, I always knew. I always knew that, like, the cream always rises to the top, and it is me just watching them and me just, finally, like my whole practice squad year, I was the cornerback because I asked when I got put on practice squad, to be able to follow Julio Jones around every day in practice. Just to see the way he practices and the way he goes by himself. I asked him, can I be that specific corner that games plan to follow him around? And, me just following him around, I felt myself getting better and better and all the time. And I just knew that, like, if I can go against him every day and I can play against him, and I didn't, he's Superman now.
Yeah.
You don't get too many pass breakups on him, but for me to even get close to making plays on him and to, like, to be there when he's catching the ball and stuff like that, I knew I can go against anybody.
Yeah.
And if I can practice against him and if I can go against him, I can compete against him every day, I knew I can do it against anybody, and I never was scared that I was going to fail.
The practice team has got to be such a weird thing, though, because you're on the team, but you're 1 second away from maybe being waived. You're 2 seconds away from maybe being picked up by a different team.
Yes.
Just how do you sort of make it through that with feeling like, okay, I'm in Atlanta, but something could change at any moment?
Man, you just take it day by day.
Yeah.
That's what it is, because you like you said, you one step from getting, you one step from maybe stepping on a starter's foot or something like that from getting cut, or you're one step from somebody else on another team getting hurt and they need you, and they've been watching you the whole time and they want to pick you up and start you the next game. You never know, so every day you got to approach it like it's your game day. Your game day is week. So if you're gonna go out there, you're gonna give half effort and stuff like that, you're gonna get half results. So you always go out there and you got to give it your all and all that stuff. So when your number is called and you get your chance to put your style of play on film, you want it to stand out and you want people to be able to notice you, and you want to never have to go back to that.
Yeah.
Purdue's playing number 6 Wisconsin tomorrow. That's a tall task, obviously. Jared Parker's talked a lot about having belief, trying to instill belief and believing you can win. When you haven't been winning, I mean, you went through a season here that was 1-11. I mean, when you haven't been winning and you get a team that's really good team, how do you do it? How do you go out there and be like, oh no, we can do it. We can beat these guys. We can, because outside looking in, we're like, that game tomorrow is not going to be close. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that?
Man, it comes from first. It comes from the top down first, and for him to actually start that, which is great. That is great. Now it has to come from the leaders on the team, because sometimes it's, it gets repetitive hearing the same thing from the coaches. And, a lot of people are, can close their ears on coaches because, maybe they dislike a coach or maybe they're biased because the coach is playing someone else. But sometimes it has to come from the leaders on the team. Get the quarterback out there, get that, the best player on the offensive line, the running backs, the wide receivers, the guys who make the plays, the defensive linemen, the ones who who's done it, you know, over and over while having a losing season, who's actually played well, you know, get those guys to get up there and talk and tell them that we can do this, and you just need your partners. You need the guy next to you, because sometimes the people who make the plays aren't the best players on the team.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the guys who maybe doesn't have the confidence, maybe who's not believing, doesn't really believe in themselves. They may be some of the best players on the team.
Well, we're about out of time. Purdue will play Wisconsin. Stacy and I didn't get a whole lot of time to talk about that matchup. You can listen to the podcast, of course. Just go to goldenblack.com. It's a link there, and you can listen to us talk a little bit about it for an hour. Good feature on there, too, about a couple of Purdue seniors and Jordan Roos and Jason King. You have to hope for the best for Purdue, not only tomorrow, but just getting it turned back in the right direction, right? I mean, you're a pretty interested observer, to say the least.
Yeah, man. I'm just, you know, I hope they can go out and get it done tomorrow. Then, you know, if they happen to fall short, man, sooner or later, I hope this, you know, they just keep building, they just keep going, and, you know, the recruits come and, you know, the coaches, whoever end up as the head man, you know, I hope he comes over with the right plan and try to get Purdue back on track.
Yeah.
Because this community deserves it, because we have some very loyal fans and we have very loyal, you know, community, and they deserve a winning season from this football team.
Best of luck in Atlanta. It's a fun division to watch. I like watching you three down there duke it out a little bit. And every opportunity I get to watch you play, I like
Sometimes
doing it. So.
literally
I
this year,
appreciate
right?
it.
Yeah, you probably saw KK sort of jab Drew Brees there a few weeks ago, right?
Oh, I didn't.
No, I'll show you the video of that.
I didn't see that.
They'll be together again this weekend, so we'll see if they talk about that at all. All right, that'll do a wrap for our show. Special thanks to everybody in the back again, Cammie, Gordon, and Allie. Also thanks to our sponsors, Hilton Garden Inn, Triple X, Basham Reynolds, and State Farm agent Trent Johnson. We will be back, I believe, on December 16th. That's a tentative time, so make sure you double check on the website, goldenblack.com, to check back with us. A special thanks, of course, to Ricardo Allen for coming in. We greatly appreciate your time. A busy guy. We like having him on the show. For Stacy and Ricardo, I'm Kyle. Thanks for watching. This is Golden Black Live.